Okay, so let's go ahead and build the class for products. So we would like to be able to populate either the product ID or the name, the unit price, or quantity on hand. We're going to do this through a constructor. That means the moment we create an object of type products, we will be able to assign it attributes to the, to build it from a constructor point of view. So something like this maybe. Let's build a constructor. So the constructor will have the same name as the class. So the way to do this is you will say public products. So it will be the actual class, and then set the attributes that you want. In our case, it will be int, let's say ID, string name, and let's see here, string, no, prices are double, so double price, and int quantity. And let's do that lowercase. Okay, so this is what the constructor, how we're going to build an object of type products. Now, to do this properly, we could probably go to mutators and do our setter methods, and then we'll finish up the constructor here. So maybe individually we could do it here as a method. We could do something like this: public void set ID. Okay, and that will take an int ID, for example, and it will basically assign, let me just fix it up here a little bit. There. So it will basically assign product ID equals ID, or in, let's call it ID here instead of in. There you go. All right, so here we will have the set method, and we'll supply it with this ID that's coming in from this argument right here. Okay, so that will take care of that. Let's go ahead and do another method for setting the name. So public void set name, and that will take a string name, and its basic functionality will be product name. We just called it name over there, so let's call it name. And to be more precise, it will be this dot name, so that way we're not confused, equals this name, right? So this dot name means what the attribute is right here is equal to the value of this argument here. So how do we set it here? From the constructor point of view, we could go ahead and do a set name and supply it with this argument name here. So that takes care of it. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here for the price and the quantity. So public void set unit price, we could do that, and that would be a double price. And in here, what do we have? Unit price equals price. So we don't need a this, since it is very distinct in terms of syntax here, or naming. So we can go over here and do a set unit price and give it the price that you have in the argument right here. Okay, good. All right, let's go ahead and do that also for setting the quantity on hand. So public void set quantity on hand, and that would be an int quantity. And the way we're going to set it is, let's look at the attribute. What is it called? It's called quantity on hand. All right, so that would be quantity on hand equals quantity. right here. Let's put a semicolon. Now, in the constructor, we're going to do set, and that would be quantity on hand, and supply it with quantity. Okay, so that will take care. That will take care of constructing the object eventually using these methods. So let's go ahead and try it out quickly here. So let's go to main, and let's say we have products right here, and let's say I have a product P1 equals new, and then products, and what you really want to do is an ID, let's call it, let's say 19, and then a name, let's call it engine, right? And next is the price, so let's say the price is $2,300, and let's say the quantity on hand, we've got 3 of them, and that's how you would build the object P1 of type product, which has an ID of 19. The description of that part is an engine. The price of that part is $2,300, and we've got 3 of them in our warehouse or in our inventory. So that's the basic way you will build the object. So now what we would like to do is, in the next video, we're going to look at the accessors. How can we get this data back out? And how can we use the toString? And guess what? I am going to also include the equals method. In case we want to compare, an object to another one if they're the same. Okay, so we're going to have a toString method and an equals method. And so by the time we complete these areas, these 3 sections here, we would have a complete class definition that we can actually utilize for our product node, and eventually it will be used in the product link list. So we're slowly building this application. Okay, I will see you for the next video where we're going to be dealing with the accessors and possibly toStrings and equals all at the same time. I'll see you then.